Today we are exploring a really important question. Do you ever have the feeling you can fully trust life? Do you ever feel like life is there? It's here for me to be lived. Like you feel you are flowing with life. This might be for some a difficult question because they perceive life as a struggle they have to fight through every day, as if life is a chain of problems to be solved. Or they often feel the need to achieve more and more to feel content or prove something to someone. Life is hard work, a battlefield, a war. How do you experience life? Are you in the flow of life, or are you fighting against the flow of life? If you imagine life like a river, for example, you will notice that a river has different appearances. There are parts of the river that seem to be very narrow. And sometimes the water flows slow, sometimes faster. Sometimes it flows a little bit up or down. And imagine yourself swimming in that river. There's that part of the river that you know, that part that is familiar to you, and you would like to stay there, at that place. And you are beginning to put a lot of effort and energy to stick to that place, no matter what. You swim, not to move, but to stay. It's exhausting, isn't it? Other people are just flowing with the river. They do enjoy the changes of scenery. They use much less energy to fight. They can float on the water, so to speak. They are in full trust in the river. Wouldn't it be nice to experience more of this trust? But how did we end up here in the first place, struggling and fighting and spending so much energy to fight life? When we look back, again, we have learned early on whether we perceive life as safe or we don't experience safety in life. Oftentimes, it feels like we are still in a jungle and need to fight for our survival. That's what we learned from previous generations who needed to survive war and rebuild their life after war, just to name an example. Our society is also supporting that fighting spirit. The more you achieve, the more you do, the more you are tough, the faster, the better, the higher, the more successful. You know what I mean. And what does that lead to when life is just a constant struggle and a fight? We can see that all around us. People burn out. People suffer from long-term stress, get physically ill, have mental problems, anxiety, depression. They might develop addictions and other very, very unhelpful and unhealthy habits. Our mental and physical health is heavily influenced by those outside factors and the daily pressure that we face. So how do we find our trust in life back? That is our topic today. And of course, it begins with us. And we are already busy to regain our trust in the past days. Trust in our emotions, for example, as we discover, hey, it is safe to have emotions. It is okay to have them. They just come and they go. There's no need to fight against our emotions. It only costs us a lot of energy and resources. When we fight, we are not only mentally, but also physically very tense, and nothing in our body can flow. It just feels stuck. And that's why it is so important that we are doing this here together. We learn to ease into life. We learn to trust our natural abilities. We learn to trust ourselves. That is one step to take. Another one is to find out how we can regain our trust in the outside. We often feel like we need to control life and everything that happens in order to feel safe. But is that true? Life is as is. But we keep telling ourselves that life shouldn't be like this. My partner shouldn't behave like he does. My job should be different. Every other person on the planet should be different. The weather should be different. How do we end up feeling when everything seems not to obey our demands of how it should be? Even ourselves. The art is to be able to let go of things that are completely out of our control. This can be quite a challenge, I know, but I can guarantee you, when we can let go more often, we regain more control of ourselves, because we can use that energy on ourselves instead of just a hopeless project. And this starts with accepting life as it is. When we keep forcing and fighting, we resist life. We will be constantly stressed, frustrated, and defeated. When we move through life doing things that can be done in order to make our garden grow and blossom, and also use time to rest, at times when nothing can be done because it's out of our control, then we will find more peace and ease and trust in life. Look at this wonderful Chinese principle, Wu Wei, the art of allowing life to do its thing and helping when you can help and doing nothing when there's nothing for you to do. This means we are aware, we stop fighting and live more in peace, and we can just be more often. When we can create life from that place, we can truly be happy, don't you think? So let's begin to rebuild our trust into ourselves and life and be more happy. Hop over to your guided meditation for today and enjoy yourself, just listening.